good health, and he's dealing with dissidence in his body, and he's trying to understand what's going on. I've never done anything wrong. I treat everybody right. Why does bad things happen to good people? Why am I experiencing this storm in my is having a conversation. The angels we shared last week go in and report as they all do. Satan is still subject to the authority of God. He's not a lone ranger that can do whatsoever he wants to do. God holds his tail like a cat that he is and pulls his string of his tail whenever he needs to. And I need you to understand that just because the devil is doing havoc in your life, please understand that God got a pin on him. He can pull him at any time. He can roll that devil back and pull him back, that he may think he has power over your life, but tell somebody, say, he can only go so far. God says he's talking, and God starts to brag or rag, and he says, Satan, where you been? He says, I've been to and fro through the land seeking whom I can bother with. You know, I'm on messy, devil. I get in people's business and I make them cuss and show they behind and turn away and walk away from God. I make them cheat on their spouses and act ugly. I make them do all kind of dirty stuff. That's what I do. I've been going through that. He said, have you, and God says, he says, have you ever considered my servant Job? Have you ever thought about bothering with Job? He said, now, stop playing God. Stop playing God. Stop playing God. You know you got a hedge around that boy. I can't touch him even if I wanted to touch him. Tell somebody, said, I can't touch him even if I wanted to. Some of us have lived a hedge life I talked about last week, where you been in a season in your life where you just keep winning because the devil has been held back from you, because God has placed the hedge. Now, there's a season of the hedge, and there's a season when God removes the hedge. I need you to understand that your faith has to still be intact, even when God removes the hedge temporarily. You almost missed that. Some of you know how to worship when the hedge is up. You know how to, I'm blessed and highly favored. The Lord been good to me, child. Lord, I just got a new car. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. I just paid off my house. I'm about ready to pay off my business. Things are going good. Child, they're giving me overtime. I just got a job. I'm making good money now. I got a little money in the bank. And you get a little arrogant. You get bow-legged and arrogant when you start testifying and walking with your head up, stuck up with your nose like it's in the air, that a plane could go all the way in it. You know how y'all get when y'all get blessed? Y'all forget to come to church. The preacher don't see you. You on vacation and posting, we in the Caribbean this week. Wild it out. And then next week, I'm riding with my boy. We on jet skis this week. And then 3 weeks later, you're riding somewhere else. And we ain't seen you in church in about 6 weeks because, you know, you blessed now. You ain't living that hedge life. That hedge life. Tell somebody, say that hedge life. Sometimes we forget. But watch. Job is in the unique place. Watch it. Job is blessed now. He's blessed now. And God says, and the devil says now he said, that old boy don't really love you like he say he love you. If you touch him, if you let me get hold to him, I'll show you that he ain't really what he said he cut out to be. Yeah, that old gal don't really love you. She going to church talking about she love the Lord. It's because you got a hedge around her. But you let me get my hands on her. I'll have her cussing and back smoking dope next week, acting crazy in the street, and I have her turning it up, dropping it like it's hot all over again. Let me get my hand on her. Let me just touch her one good time. I'll touch her, and they'll go right on back to picking up their pistol and ready to show somebody that there's wild gangster. I'll show them who they really is. Let me get my hand on them. God says, he said, now that one over there, I don't care what you do to him, she's gonna stand. Because she don't have part-time religion. She don't have that church house salvation. You know, that jailhouse salvation when you're going through it, you give God your heart. But whenever things get good, you get green and you get gold. Now, she ain't got that kind. He ain't got that kind. He is committed. Do you understand that sometimes when you're experiencing storms, it's because God is allowing your testimony to be perfected in witnesses' viewpoint? Oh God, oh God. How will you respond to this bad news? How will you respond to this decadence? How will you respond to this chaos that's going in your life? And watch it. God says, he says, okay, I'm sure about that one. He says, I'm going to remove the hedge, but I got a few guidelines. You can't touch his life. Said, I ain't got to have his life. I'll make his life so miserable, he'll give me his life. Satan pops his collar, and he says, do what you gotta do. And he says, just sit back and watch. God sits back on the heavenly portals of heaven with his popcorn watching, saying, Satan, you just don't understand. This is going to be a show you ain't never seen. Because they the real deal. Holyfield. Satan is looking and the bases are loaded. Everybody is watching. Heaven and angels. The spirit realm is looking and everybody's trying to see what the next move going to be. Job is there. So Job has now got through crying over his children. While he was crying and he takes his clothes off, he starts to scratch and to itch. And it's like he got a bad case of chicken pox or what's that thing they got out now? Monkey pox. It's going all over his body and he's got welts and scars and he's scratching and can't stop and they become pussy and they're bleeding and he's going through this discomfort and he's hurting. And now it's one thing to deal with conflict that hurts you externally, but then it's another thing to deal with conflicts that hurt you internally. And so there's two fronts he's fighting. He's fighting the pain of the loss of things, and now he's fighting the pain of the loss of, watch this, the children that he loved. And now he's battling the greatest loss of all times. He's dealing with his body that seems to be rejecting him. His body begins to let him down. His body begins to reject our good health, and he's dealing with dissonance in his body, and he's trying to understand what's going on. I've never done anything wrong. I treat everybody right. Why does bad things happen to good people? Why am I experiencing this storm in my life? Where is God at right now in this season of my life? Have you ever been there where you're trying to figure out, why am I dealing with this? Why are we in the ER right now? Why are we dealing with these things in our life? Why is our money funny and our change strange? Why are we dealing with this dissonance in our life? And he's there, but watch Job. He never questions God. He never rises up and comes with the next trial. His wife walks into him and says, baby, you look bad. Baby, you are, baby, we done had a good run. His wife says to him, Job, you might as well commit suicide. Yeah. Curse God and die. Okay. Watch this. When there's a time in your life when the people you love the greatest don't understand the season you're in. And they speak stupid stuff when you need a supportive agent in your ear to encourage you and to tell you it's going to get better. But there are seasons in your life when the folks you love the greatest, they become ghosts in the mindset. And now she changes from being, watch this, an agent of support, but now she changes to a dissonant voice in his ear. And do you not understand that sometimes in the trial of life, one of the things that you have to face is that the person that lay beside you at night. Now, Pastor Vicky is out of town working, y'all. We ain't got trouble in our marriage, so let me just go tell you that. Sometimes the person that you lay beside in the bed sometimes is your greatest enemy, and the person that you love the greatest. But that's one of the storms that you've got to face, because sometimes they don't understand your headspace or where God has you. And the truth of the matter, can I preach it like I feel it? There are moments in my life where I don't understand what God is doing for me, but what I understand is I better keep my mouth shut and give him praise despite what's going on in my life. And so Sister Job says to him, said, man, you might as well hang up the towel and give in. We had a good run, but it's all over. There are some folks that quit on you when the things change in life, that they are supportive as long as things are going their way, but when things get crazy, maybe that's a sign we ain't supposed to be together. Maybe I'm sick of you rooted tooted sign looking people that switch out every time something bad goes. I need some folks in my life when things go bad. Maybe that's the devil trying to separate us. Maybe that's the devil that don't want to see us become greater. Maybe that's the devil that's fighting our mind because he understands our future. Maybe he is the kinetic energy of force that fights against us because he understands that if I ever get it right, I'm going to be something dangerous, something hot on a stick, and something powerful in his life. You got to have somebody in your life that'll stand in your corner and say, Hercules, Hercules, champ, you can do it. You can face it. We can build it if you want to build it. If you want to buy it, we can do it. If you want it, I want it with you. You got to have somebody in your corner. Look at somebody and say, if you're going to be with me, you got to support me. I can't have naysayers and negativity people and you're whispering at somebody, I don't know. I need you to say, I know we can. Money ain't no money in the bank. How are we going to do it? We're going to trust God like we did the last time we didn't have a light bill money. The same time we didn't have the money for the business, but God made a way. You got to have somebody in your corner that'll push you. Tell somebody, say, I need a pusher. Yes, sir. He experiences a difficult moment in his life because his pusher become his temptress. It's bad when people that are called to you that have influence in your life take their influence and use it in the wrong way. Okay, so let's walk that thing just a little bit. So girl, now, no, she got her husband's ear. And she takes the influence because she is being influenced. You know, the truth of the matter is, she ain't all that bad, but she suffered a weak moment. And Satan finds the weakest link. That's what I tell our men all the time. You got to be a man. You got to square your shoulders and let your back stand strong. Sometimes she's going to get tempted. She's going to get frustrated. She's going to say things out of her mouth that she has no business saying. She's going to start talking crazy talk. Like, I don't know why I even married you. My sisters told me I shouldn't even got with you. I don't know why I got. They're going to say stupid stuff. But look at somebody and say, you got to square your shoulders. You're a man. You're a man. You're a man. You're made for this. You're made for this. Tell somebody, say, you made for this. You made for this. He looked at her and says to her, he says to her, no, girl, I can't go out like that. Look at somebody and say, God been too good for me to start questioning him now. After all God has done for me, after all the mistakes I've made, and he still blessed me and gave me another chance. Isn't it kind of funny how we put God on a time schedule when he allowed us to run ragged, do whatsoever we wanted to do and how we wanted to do it as long as we wanted to do it. And eventually we came around. But when we come around to him, we want everything to be instant overnight. Tell somebody, said it's called seed time and harvest time. You got to sow into doing right for the harvest of right doing to come out. You know, I've always been amazed. People come to church and they never gave a tithe or an offering, or never gave anybody. They stingy. They won't give a crippled crab a crutch. You know, they just stingy. They stingy in their whole personal life. You understand? Won't give nobody nothing. You see you thirsty, and they say, when I drink, you swallow. They just that stingy. There's some people that like that, but they always got the hand out. They always want somebody to do something for them, but they'll never give you anything. And so I watch people, they start saying, okay, pastor said we need to start tithing. So they start tithing. They give one offering tomorrow, and they look for God to give them $1 million next week. Right? I don't understand. Where's that? But ready? They'll keep seeding in a man that's abusive, believing he gonna get better for years. Baby, you done caught him in the act. He done told you 50 times he ain't gonna do it no more. He didn't beat you to, girl. You got makeup down to an exact science how you put that. And you give God one try. That's a gimmick. I ain't gonna be putting my mind. See, the truth of the matter is that we do not lend God the same grace that he lends us in our life. What I like about Job is that Job says, I do not understand what you're doing. Because the backstory, many of us are not privy to God's backstory concerning our current condition. You don't know what God is saying about you. But can I share with you that he's rooting for you to win every single time? and so watch it. Now watch it. And Job, wife says it. And then his friends show up. They show up. I taught some people that some friends are like frenemies. They've been waiting for a moment to see us down. You got them in your life. They love, what's going on? What's wrong? Mm-hmm. You okay? You looking funny. Everything okay? They sit there patiently, get your business. Well, he didn't come home last night. And he ain't answered. For real? I just don't know if it's going to work between me and that girl. She just, something, she always bossy, always got an opinion about everything. She just looked like that type, I'm telling you. I just knew she was like that. She, her mama and them is something else. They are people that look like they are really, I call them frenemies. They can't wait to pounce on negativity. They present themselves to be friends when they're only gossip sniffing hounds that are on a mission to find out your business. And instead of strengthening you, they're there to tear you down or to talk about you in a dissident way. And so Job begins to share his story, and they begin to say, it's your children's fault. It's you. You must have done something wrong if you're in this particular situation in your life. There are some folks that when you're catching hell, they begin to blame you for all of the stuff that you've gone through, like you've never, like it's your fault. Could it be that it's not my fault and that I've not done something, but God has chosen me as an example to show people that you can go through and come out, and that many of the afflictions of the righteous, but it's the Lord that delivers them. Could it be that I'm an example that show you that what cancer, I can go through cancer and come out of chemo and treatment and be cancer free? Could it be that I'm an example of what it meant to go through a messed up relationship? Yeah, I was raped. Yeah, I was stolen. Yes, I was in foster care. Yeah, they stole my car. Yeah, I got evicted from my house, but I recovered and now I've got a house. Could I not be a testimony about how God can do and what God can do in my life? Had God not put me on the display to show that he's still with me? Before you hate on me, celebrate the God I serve. And you've got to watch the people in your life. Scripture says that they sit there with him 7 days. And he is lamenting. There's some people that get off on your pain. They sit there. You okay? that's some sick stuff. They want to hear your story. Something happens with Job. Now, I don't ever want to preach Job to be a patron saint that he's not human. Because sometimes what bothers me about preachers is we preach these Bible characters like they ain't human. Now, I'm different than Job now. I'm not a cusser. But I believe that if Job friends had came to me like that, I would have rented some of y'all that are good cussers and said, I need your help for just a few minutes. Because I can't put my words together like y'all can. I got some folks in the hospital church that y'all are articulate cussers. Y'all anointed. Y'all anointed. You know where to tell them where to go and how to get there and how long they should stay there. And you know where to tell them to kiss where the sun don't shine and all. Yeah, not everybody in here, but just a few of y'all. Y'all got them choice words in your vocabulary. Tell God, that's your other language. Some of y'all speak French, some of you speak Spanish, and some of y'all speak cussology. Yeah, that's your certified description. But watch his posture. Watch his posture. Watch his posture. His posture is that, in a sense, where he does not retaliate. Tell somebody, say, you can't let your witness be damaged with negative people. Dismiss them. There are some folks in your life that read negativity you just need to dismiss. Tell somebody, my block game is real. There are some folks in your life that you simply need to dismiss. They are mood chasers, mood messers. They move your mood. You was doing good that day. You get off the phone with them and I just want to go eat me a jelly donut and sit in the corner and put some cover over my face and don't get out of bed. They asinine for my mood. Job goes through a point after dealing with that. He said, God, you got to have a meeting. He been riding high now. This joker been riding high, talking all this good talk. He said, God, I got to have a meeting because I don't understand this. And do you understand there's nothing wrong with having a talk with God? But somebody said, watch your tone now. Watch your tone. Yeah. I don't mind you talking to me, but watch your tone. Watch your tone. Watch your tone. There's some folks, they got a disrespectful tone when they step to you. I don't mind you talking to me about anything, but watch your tone. Watch your tone. You got too much. You got too much in your throat. You got too much in your throat when you're stepping to me. I need you to take it down a notch and come on, talk to me. We can talk through this, but watch your tone. He got a little funny little tone, and he said, God, I want to understand what's going on. God said to him, he said, where were you when I threw the stars in the sky? He said, where was you when I made this world that you exist in? God started running his reputation down of what he had accomplished. Job got to listen to everything that God had done. And the earth was his, and it was God that had made it. And he said, God, he said, I apologize. He said, he says, I may not understand it. But God, I refuse to allow the pestilent voices in my life to make me question your ability. And do you understand that life sometimes sends voices and sounds and people and things in your life that will cause you to almost question, will God bring you through, and will it get better, and will you ever finally get on top? Will you stop struggling? Will life stop coming up and down? And will you always be in the same place in life? And will you finally have utopia and happiness? And will you be complete? Life will begin to make you want to slip into the kitchen frustration and lick every bowl of negativity and try every potion that it's created and drink every drink of vulgarity and upsetness and frustration. And sometimes you get upset and you get hurt and you get angry and you're mad as hell. You are upset and you're angry and you want to respond, but he says, Lord, but you've been too good. You've made too much. You've done too much. You ain't no newbie at making a world and doing things. And so I trust your process, even though I do not understand your process. Is there anybody in here that can tell God, said, God, I do not understand the process, but I trust your process. I do not understand why I had to have the L's that I've had in life. I do not understand why I had to have the takeaways that I've had in life, but I trust your process. Oh, listen to me. I know you ain't got to be churchy, but the truth of the matter is he's too wise to make a mistake. He's too much of a God to let you down, and you may not understand him, but can I tell you something? I've learned that it works out better in the end if you trust him. I got to get out of here. Jason, they tell me I hold church just about the time the next service started, and I got to get out of here. But what's crazy is that after Job gets through talking to God the right way, the Bible said that God calls him in and he gives him double for all of his troubles. Tell somebody, my reaping season go make my suffering season blush. Tell somebody, say, my reaping season go make my suffering season blush. Yes, sir. I didn't understand this. Tell somebody, say, it don't matter how many losses you had. Tell somebody the win you're getting ready to have go make you forget about all the losses you had. Tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, my come up is gonna be sweeter than you've ever seen. Tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, my next move is the best move that you've ever seen, because it's a move that you've never seen. Grab your neighbor and tell your neighbor, said, oh neighbor, the next move that God does in my life gonna make my enemies and my frenemies have to say, the Lord is with that boy. The Lord is with that gal. He walks with them and he talks with them and he tells them that I'm his own. Grab your neighbor and tell your neighbor. Shall I preach for just a minute? Grab your neighbor and tell your neighbor, say, neighbor, my come up this time.
Join us for a power-packed time in the Word. Your life will not be the same. Or check us out online at jesusmeds.org. Or for more information, give us a call at 904-389-5592. We wanted to let you know that you have the chance to hear us 24 hours a day by downloading the Inspired Network app. It's located on Roku and Amazon Fire Stick. Or you can download on your cellular device in the app. Or you can download on your cellular device in the app or Play Store. Stay connected with the Deeper Look and the Inspired Network by simply going into the App Store, finding the Inspired Network, and downloading the app. It will keep you connected with all of the things going on and programming of the Inspired Network.
Jacksonville, it's the Nothing But the Hits farewell tour of the Williams Brothers. November 5th at the Paxson Revival Center. With special guests, the Swanee Quintet, the Williams Singers, and more. Tickets $40 in advance, $50 at the door. VIP available. They're available at Eventbrite, TJ Records, or Paxson Discount Christian Bookstore. For info, call 904-813-00